Okay, I'll continue with the Saheeli deck. I spent a lot of energy on this deck, maybe because it's one of my, I think it's my favorite of the four. I thought the enchantment deck was going to be it, but I actually like the Saheeli deck the best of the four, so maybe that's why I'm taking my time with it. Sorry, I got interrupted and I had to cut the video in half. One of these days, I'll just learn to splice these things. So this is part two of the Saheeli discussion. I don't know if I would call it a review. So the clock will untap all artifacts you control, and you've got a bunch of artifacts that can be tapped for something. Look at that. All the four that we talked about before can all be untapped again. So the clock is going to be really, really good for a bunch of artifacts that you're tapping for something. The urn as a 5-drop, at the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase, if it's untapped, that player adds colorless mana for each artifact they control. So you cannot tap it and untap it at will, so you're only going to get the benefit once, because it's only at the beginning of each player's pre-combat main phase. But it can be a fantastic mana rock. You just have to control the artifacts. It can be really good, it can be nothing. It can be 0, it can be 7. Mirror works, 5-drop. Whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 2. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that artifact. You got 7 mana, you have a 5-drop non-token artifact, you play it, you pay the additional 2, and you get a token copy of it, and you don't have to exile it, it just lives. That's really nice. That's really nice late game. The Hedron is a mana rock for 3 colorless, and then for 3 and tapping, you draw 3 cards. I like it. That's really good. And you're in Commander, 6 mana, fine. And Saheeli's +1 is probably going to let you cast it for less. That's pretty good. Then I just wanted to very briefly mention, I thought about other Commander builds for the 3 junior or the other commanders. Bruticlad is all about tokens, so I looked up a couple of artifacts that can generate a lot of tokens. The deck already can do that anyways, so this would be where you drop Saheeli and you have a Bruticlad deck and you're going nuts with tokens, mirror tokens or golem tokens. Of course, you can stop this video and look at the cards. I'm not going to go into such detail because I already spent the bulk of my time on the part 1 that discussed really the deck. Here I'm just adding a few trimmings to the Saheeli deck. You can also use Golden Guardian from Rivals of Excellent, and when you tip it over, you pay 4, you create a 4/4 Golem. That's pretty good for your army for Warclad. Hour of Eternity, so maybe Eternalize. You can put some Eternalized cards in the deck, and they're always going to create 4/4 tokens. So these are things that can create 3/3 and 4/4 tokens. Then if you're for red, you can do something like Dragon Master Outcast, and if you control 6 or more lands, you can drop a 5/5 red dragon token, so turn all your tokens into 5/5s when your commander, if you were to choose Bruticlad, drops. And again, more 5/5 dragon tricks. Then for Taunas, I thought a Panharmonicon deck could be used for Taunas. Lots of activated and triggered abilities in a Panharmonicon deck. I thought maybe you could use the Doom Engine and hit for 6 multiple times. I'm not sure about this. I think whoever's watching this probably knows the rules better than I do. I'm just putting this here because that's what I thought when I looked at Taunas as a deck by himself. Then Varchild, you got to figure a way to whack it to get back your survivor tokens, and you can use the Lord of all tribes that don't have lords, Adaptive Automaton, drop it and declare it for survivor. Saheeli, of course, Saheeli goes on the low end of the curve. Other people have mentioned it on the interweb, on Reddit. Saheeli is not a good addition to this deck. Joyra is, I'm sorry, I said Saheeli, I meant Joyra. Joyra I don't think it's a good addition to this deck. I put it as a Saheeli Helper. I'm not sure, because as you read through the deck, you'll see that there's enough of the light artifacts and the heavy artifacts for you to get whatever you need out of the +1. But I'm just putting it here. People are discussing it. I would probably more likely take some of the artifacts from the Saheeli deck and then make a better Joyride deck. That's what I would probably do. But I probably wouldn't put it in here. Of course, whenever you think of artifact helpers, you're thinking of affinity, you're thinking of the inspector because artifact spells cost 1 less to cast, and you're thinking of making everything have improvise. But you're already on artifacts, so actually inspiring stationery is cute to mention here. I think you're already there with all the artifacts you have. You can always drop a Tesseract in this deck. I mean, Tesseract is an artifact beast. You can always drop a Tamiyo's Journal and create a bunch of clue tokens. I'm not sure about that. I'm just mentioning it. Treasure Mage, when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with converted mana cost 6 or greater. You know, a good way to tutor one of your big critters if you're flooded with the little ones. I can put Wormcoil Engine into pretty much every deck I have ever built. That's just my opinion. The Dynamo is a great mana rock. Mox Opal is great if you've got a bank account just dedicated for Magic. And I'm done. Thank you, folks.